fuck about nothing.
Well, I tell you
Right
what,
now.
watch that suck shit, because that'll go bad.
Call it what you want.
I don't do no.
If you want to get back to the conversation, because you're not gonna do
Come
shit.
at me with that.
Shit. You're not gonna
Come at me with. See, I suck.
So they got this saying, really popular saying. They say, never meet your heroes. Well, after last night, I got a new saying. Never watch your heroes meet each other. Because, I don't know, I just knew that I was going to have to buy a pineapple. Because I have this thing where if I get really upset, cutting up a fresh pineapple really takes the edge off. And I don't know why. I just, something in my mind when I was in the grocery store was like, girl, get a pineapple because you're excited. And chances are you're going to be disappointed. So, watching the 5150 show last night, I was so excited because I'm a big fan of Corey Holcolmb, and I'm also a huge fan of Anton Daniels. And, you know, most people might know him from the Millionaire Morning Show, and he has all these other channels. But, you know, I usually unwind throughout the day. So it's easy for me to consume what Anton talks about in the morning. It's just easier. And so, fine. Corey Holcolmb, usually he's up at night. And then, you know, I'm in North Carolina and he's all the way in California. So, you know, there's that 3-hour time difference. And, you know, he starts late. You know, it's the brand. I was really intrigued. I was like, I wonder, these two personalities, you have an entertainer and a businessman. This is going to be interesting. And it was. And the funny thing about it is it turned into a cookout that was going bad very, very quickly. I feel like Anton was being attacked the entire time. And I believe that Anton handled himself very well. And I feel like, honestly, I think that Corey's fan base put a battery in his back. The thing that I really hated about it was that Corey's talking points was always just, you could tell he didn't want to agree about anything with Anton at all. And that's fine, you know, you can disagree about things. But when you start attacking a person's character and you start disrespecting that person, getting personal, bringing up, you know, a woman or bringing up that man's spouse, that man's wife even, that's a problem. And it goes to show that there is this distinct line in the Black community, and I'm even starting to realize it. Like, the number one thing about being Black is like everything that goes on with you, it really has nothing to do with anybody else. This is what I mean. The mainstream media will have you believe that Black people are oppressed by a dominant system or, you know, the white man or the police or whatever. But the reality is we have a lot of internal issues. And I'm starting to believe that we have like a structure of have and have not. And I feel like Anton represents the haves and Corey represents the have nots. And the sad thing about it is, no matter what happens, the have nots are going to be the have nots. And no matter how much those of us who have try to give to the have nots, they are just have nots. When you talk about star power, when you talk about celebrity, Corey has Anton beat all day on that. But when you talk about character and when you talk about substance, Corey is nowhere to be found on that. That's one of those things that kind of get under my skin as a Black person. Like, Corey has so much potential. And last night, I got to see for myself why you have mainstream comedians who are not nearly as talented as Corey, will never be as talented as Corey, but they are way more popular than him. His obsession with what he called backdooria, where he's talking about men who lay up with other men, it's got to be tamed. I feel like he needs to get therapy for that. And when Anton triggered him with that, it's like that's what controlled Corey. You bring up man on man action, and Corey is done. That is one virus that can corrupt that server. Just bring up man on man stuff, and Corey's career is over. And I think that's really tragic because Corey lives a very free life with lots and lots of women. What do men being with other men have anything to do with him? He gets triggered by it, and it bothers me. It's such a small thing that Corey get hung up on, and it causes him to lose everything. Now, Anton, I just so happen to align more with his principles because I'm just a regular person like him. I'm not a superstar like Corey Holcomb. I'm just a regular, everyday person trying to, do what's best for me and my family. Corey, he's I would have said big time celebrity, but he is big time in his own right. And he has star power. And I think that star power clouds his vision. It really gets in his way. And it's so sad. The whole time I was looking at this, I was like, what a waste. They reminded me of myself and my family. There was a time when I used to think if I was super duper successful and I quote unquote put everybody on in my family, that we will all live happily ever after. We can all kind of push each other along as a group, like as a unit. But after last night, it just gave me confirmation that this thick, nasty line in the Black community of, I don't even know how to categorize us. I'm going to just say the hood and the good. We just can't mesh. And it's so sad. I feel bad for Corey because it was like, I think he took it to the alternative lifestyle conversation because he kept talking about Anton kissing white men's behind. And everything he kept saying about Anton always been like, I'm not the type of person that's like intimidated by white people, Now on my channel, I have white people as well as Black people. I don't discriminate. And it was like Anton was always trying to talk reasonably to Corey. And I know Anton knew what he was doing. Anton is brilliant. For people that have transcended so many bottoms, Anton wouldn't dumb down. And I'm sure Anton could have done it, but that's not what he's there for. Anton is a businessman. So we know how to talk to people like Corey. But where Anton has surpassed me in life is he's not going to waste his time doing that. It doesn't benefit him. Like, even when he tried to be rational about the conversation, Corey just kept coming at him like a crazy person. The sad part is Corey could have been more composed. He could have been more professional. He could have been more of a man even about the whole ordeal. But his fan base, I'm going to be frank, the 5150 fan base, the 5150 Nation, they love to be entertained. They love to be entertained way more than they love to be motivated. And that's one of the reasons why watching the 5150 show is so fun at night, because you get to just be a vegetable and enjoy yourself at the same time. Anton is always trying to help people get to another level, do a little better, do a little more. Anton is very productive. Corey, on the other hand, he's an entertainer. And that's just about it. But the thing that really got me was, dang, Anton looked like me when I get invited to the cookout.